Okay, and here we are. We've now established the basic gradebook. One of the things that I do is I just tend to copy and paste the file, or duplicate the file, and then readjust the name so you have it for other classes. So one of the things that that this program offers, we're looking at homework values right now on the homework tab. So we got all the homework assignments in the bottom right-hand corner. Once you start to have data in your sheet, if I want to look individually at Bob's information, maybe the numbers don't quite speak to me the way I want them to, I can click on the bottom right-hand corner, Explore, and that's exploring your data. So when you open that up, what does it do? It kind of gives you some basic information on the on your data here. The maximum value, the lowest value, the average, sum. So what's the sum? The sum is when they add all these values together. It's part of what we use to count the data. Keep going. We have a bar graph about Bob's homework assignments. So we can see a lot of times he's not doing all the assignments. Maybe it's easier to see it looking at this. If you needed to put this on a chart, or if you needed to put this on a report, easy enough to insert chart. And there you have a chart now. This chart could be copied and pasted into a doc file if need, a Google Docs if need to be, or you could remove it. So right now we're individually looking at Bob's information, pie graph. What if we want to change that? What if we want to look at everyone's information? Well, we go to the side here. Let's highlight several people. So we have the whole lot of people. And now what this does is it runs a side-by-side comparison of all their information. So we could look over here at this graph. Maybe it's maybe we just want to enlarge that a little bit. So color codes each person by name. We could see that first assignment looks like basically everybody handed it in. Must have been, maybe that gives you some kind of feedback about the assignment, whereas other assignments weren't handed in to the fullest extent as frequently. This one had only 2 people did the entire thing. Or if we go down below, we look at the average, 2 people or 1 person in the class did everything. So it just presents your data in a different way. There are other methods that will take that information, put it into pie graphs again. Here we're looking at Bob again. Now it gives you breakdowns on Jen and Jen's work. So what it's going to do, it's going to generate those reports for each of your students, however you want to look at that. Depending on what type of data you have in here, if it's test grades, you want to look at your test grades, you want to see what type of curve maybe the grades had. So maybe I want to highlight this information. Is it fitting the standard bell curve? Is it not? Was the test too easy? Was the test too difficult? May give you a better picture of it when you start looking at that information on a bar graph. And you can kind of see the numbers here. They're up and down. They're a little more scattered. But if we take a look at this graph over here, we can compare. You can see that John over here with this green bar seems to perform well in all the tests. Seems to keep hitting the higher notes, where this person, Mike, seems to be hitting at the lower end of all the tests. A little more obvious maybe looking at the bars. Again, it's just different ways of looking at your data, but all valuable. So there's something to keep in mind there. And there are many other add-ons that you can run with the Google Sheets. I mean, those each can require their own lengthy presentations. Things to explore. First thing you got to do is just get comfortable utilizing it. And then from there, expanding. Just like any other program, take something, try it out, play with it. You like it. The hard part might be writing formulas. Maybe not comfortable with completely coming up with the formulas. You can always ask somebody for help with that. But pretty much it. So the basic overview of Google Sheets, how I utilize it. Definitely liked a lot of benefits. The only thing I really don't care for about it is the inability to group tabs together to make changes on all the tabs at once.